everyone, so for this video I'm going to show you how to do a heparin injection. So I'm doing an IVF cycle and I have been instructed to do heparin shots. So I do 2 shots a day and this is my 6th day. So I'm going to give you a few tips that have been working for me in regards to minimizing the pain a little bit and also trying to minimize the bruising that you might experience. So before we get started on anything, I want to make sure that you have all the things that you're going to need to do the shots. So you want to make sure that you have your syringe. Then you want to make sure you have your medication along with cotton swabs and also your gauze. Aside from that, you also want to make sure that you have a hazard container, and this will be for when you finish with the injection, that you put your needle in this container. So when it comes to having the syringe, you might have 2 options. You might get the 1 ml TB syringe, or you might get the 3 ml syringe. So the difference between this 2 is that with this one, it already comes with a small needle that you need to inject, so you wouldn't have to be changing needles. With the 3 ml, the needle is a little bit thicker, so you actually will need to transfer to a smaller needle after you have drawn your dosage. So pros and cons. So when you do it with the 1 ml, like I mentioned, you won't have to change syringe. You won't have to change your needle to inject. The bad thing about it is that because the needle is so small, when you're drawing out the dosage, it takes a little bit longer to draw the dosage. With the 3 ml, it takes less time to draw your dosage, but then you will have to switch the needle. So it's your preference. I don't really like changing the needle all the time, so I just go with the 1 ml, even if it takes me just a few more seconds to draw the dosage. So the same thing with your medication. Sometimes you might get 1 vial and that's going to be enough for the dosage that you need. So in this case, my doctor is giving me a 5,000 dosage. Sometimes people might have a bigger vial and it just has more dosage in it. So my vial comes like this. You pretty much just tear out the little part that's here. You're not going to need that. And then it always comes with a cap like this. So you just remove the cap to dispose the area where you're going to be drawing the medicine from. So they always suggest to clean the area just so you avoid infections or any problems. So you want to make sure to use a cotton swab for that. And then you're going to take out your needle. So I prefer the small needle like I mentioned before. So with this, my suggestion is, well, they always tell you to draw back some air before you put it into the vial. And that would just help you to take out the medicine easier. So you just want to put it into your vial. Put the air in and then turn it and then start drawing your medicine. So at first you're going to notice that you're going to get drops, but there's a little bit of air. You really don't have to worry about that because once you are putting the medicine in, it kind of, that little bit of space in between the actual syringe and the needle, it's not going to go inside of your belly, so you're not going to have air coming in anyway. So you want to draw the medicine according to your dosage. So in my case, it's 1 ml, so I just have to draw it all the way down to the end. And like I said, sometimes because of the small needles, it does take a little bit longer, but for the most part, it's not anything that's going to be super, super noticeable. So you want to make sure that the med is exactly at 1 ml, which in my case is pretty much the whole vial. So when you're recapping your needle, you want to make sure that you put it on a surface. So I'm going to use this to kind of show you how to recap. So you put the cap on the surface and you want to just put the needle in and kind of scoop it up and then push it in to close it. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to prepare my body for the shots. So I'm going to put that to the side until I'm ready. So suggestion number 1 for trying to minimize pain and also bruising is that you take a cube of ice and just rub it on the area where you're actually going to be doing the injection. So as you notice, I do have already some bruising from the first few days that I did my injections. So in order to eliminate those bruising, that's when I started doing the suggestion given to me. And I just rub a little bit of ice in the area where I'm going to be doing the injection to kind of numb it and to make it less painful when I do it. They say to do it for about a minute. I only need just a few rubs and it kind of helps. Now, another suggestion is try not to do it any too close to your belly button because it tends to hurt a little bit more there as well. So that's why I'm going a little bit away from the belly button. And then, of course, you're going to use another alcohol swab to clean the area, the site of injection. Going to remember to squeeze, not stretch the area, and then just push it in. And then you're going to start putting in your dosage. So my other suggestion is kind of to just let it sit for a couple of seconds before you draw the needle, just so that there's no backflow or whatever you want to call it. For the most part, I don't need like a huge thing of gauze to clean up. Most of the time I just use one and kind of just wipe it off a little bit, and that's it for the most part. If you feel that it's that it's bleeding a little bit more, then you kind of just can leave it there for a few seconds just to till the bleeding stops, which is usually like seconds after. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was helpful for you. Make sure that if you have any questions or anything of that nature, make sure to comment down below. I will be posting a separate video on how to do the progesterone in oil, which is also another injection that I have to be doing for my IVF cycle. So if you want to see that video or any other future videos, make sure to subscribe so you can get notifications when I do post those videos. Till next time, stay true, stay lovely.